You're welcome to Press Talk on Television Nigerian, a platform where we invest and where we look at current issues in the Nigerian polity as put together in various tabloids across the country, as well as provide insights into some topical issues that dominate discourse across several forums. I am Charles Ibe, and with me on the platform today is our regulars, Daniel Atai. And of course, Peggy Shandi.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, they are all regular faces on Television Nigeria, and I must say, seasoned journalists. So you are on for very, very good times as we take in-depth analysis of the news making the rounds on the tabloid. But first, we have to take a look at the front pages of some Nigerian dailies. But before that, take a minute to like, subscribe, and share our pages, and be a part of the program by making your contributions on the comment section. Do join us again.
This is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN
You're welcome back. And we're starting the newspaper reviews with the Nation's newspaper. And the Nation has this bold headline on its front page, and it's saying states divided over plans to review school resumption. States divided over plans to review schools resumption. And there's just one rider on the front page there. Private school owners meet today, and then January 18th yet to be evaluated. You can get details of this headline from the Nation's newspaper. The Nation's newspaper is the paper we are looking at. And then the next, over on top of the masthead here, you have 21 police commissioners get new posts. Mba remains PPPRO. Get details of that in the Nation's newspaper. Secondus to Makinde, Fayoshe, take your case to Saraki. What is he talking about? Just get to page 7 of the Nation's newspaper to get the details. And we have, besides that, 43 career ambassadors, 52 others to get beats. 21 die in Ife, Ibadan, Bida, Mokwa road crashes, where you can get the details on page 5 and also on page 8 of the Nation's newspaper. And just directly under the masthead, we have federal government to borrow 5.6 trillion naira to finance the budget. And you have a picture of the finance minister there. So what are the details about this budget, and where is this 5.6 trillion naira to come from? Get the very, very interesting details from the Nation's newspaper. And below the major, just under the bold headline there, you have Muslim Forum threatens Kuka. Muslim Forum threatens Kuka. He has a rider there. Cleric should apologize or leave Sokoto Caliphate. Cleric should apologize and leave Sokoto Caliphate. Why are Muslim Forum threatening Kuka? Who is Kuka? You need to get the details. Go to the Nation's newspaper for the details. And below the picture story there, you have Trump declares state of emergency in D.C. Find the details on page 5 of the Nation's newspaper. Now, gentlemen, let's...
You know, the one that caught my attention most, let me say there are two that caught my attention. The 21 died in Ile-Ife, Ibadan Road,
yes.
On road crashes, and then the Muslim Forum threatens Kuka, and then they said the cleric should apologize or leave the Sokoto Caliphate.
You know, he's from Sokoto State.
Yeah, I know.
It's a bishop.
And he's a Catholic bishop.
Yes. He's a Catholic bishop, and then
I think it's about the message he gave during Christmas time, talking about the governance and state of security in Nigeria.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe he said some things that are not okay with the Muslims.
But this is not the first time he has been
this is
saying
not
it.
the first time.
So why not?
But then even, I don't know, in previous administration, like the immediate past, I mean the past administration of Jonathan.
He gave it.
No, not very hot, because he was one of those people that were talking about religious crisis and nepotism between the north and the south, the southwest, the southeast, and so on and so forth. But however, I think Nigeria as a state, we must get something very right. Nigeria is not a religious state. Nigeria is a federation. And we have not even started the practice of true federalism. Now, if you observe some federal character being outplayed and you have animosity towards that, there are ways, especially if you are a public figure to that level or cadre of being a bishop in the Catholic faith. You know, when you mean, you know, the Roman Catholic Church is one of the largest and well-organized institution of faith in this world. So, if a member or a bishop of this prestigious and revered organization of faith don't know how to constructively and balance issue relating to government and governance, it could trigger religious crisis.
But was he really?
However,
was he really unbalanced? As in, was his comments?
You see,
It does not.
when
I think he was more of speaking truth to power.
he was,
And, you know,
he was speaking truth to power. At the same time, he was making it look one-sided, in the sense that if the present administration is not performing in the areas of insecurity, there are ways you could come out to advise as a bishop. The office you are holding is not your personal office, it's a religious office for all Roman Catholic, not only Roman Catholics anymore.
But also,
Now,
sorry, I'm not cutting you short.
there is a way he could be seen.
In this line, most of what Kuka
Said.
you know, they have a Catholic Bishops Forum. You have several religious leaders. You have even Khan that have several times spoken out exactly those things that Kuka said. You understand? As a group, collectively. He was more like trying to kind of buttress the point. I think he went further by pointing out that maybe the president seems to be sympathetic to some section of the country and then to some religion, you understand? Bringing to fore nepotism and some kind of stuff. I think maybe that was where...
While he might be right in certain assertions, he could be wrong. Let me not say he is.
Yeah.
In balancing and juxtaposing it with previous statement of his in the previous administration. You know, we are too secular in nepotistic thinking and affiliation.
I think
Jonathan was a Christian. Sorry, let me land. Let me hit this. I know you will speak. You know, it's a wide topic. You will speak. Jonathan was seen as a bailer for the Christian faith when he was the president.
Was he really?
Hold on. I know what I'm talking about. I have analyzed this thing on several forums and medium. Now, Kuka, revered Bishop Kuka, should have put side by side what he accused this administration of, and put side by side with the past administration, and just oppose them, whether this administration is arrogantly wrong or ineptitude towards what he is saying. By the time we just oppose them as analysts, we discover that Kuka, to be honest, is wrong. When
saying things as they are.
Saying things as they are, but never say things as they were.
No, wait.
Will create acrimony. It will certainly bring animosity.
Can we revisit the issues that Kuka said?
Okay.
If you remember any of them, what did he say?
I will bring them out.
He
You said you wanted to say something.
No,
so
Kuka raised,
going on, let me
raised
bring them out.
the points
I will bring the point
how
out.
insecurity has gone worse.
And I will remind him where he's wrong.
How people are no longer safe. He mentioned the issue of the kidnapping, the Kankara boys, and a lot of stuff. And then he also went to talk about the service chiefs, the security appointments, and at a point he was hitting hard on the president for appearing to be nepotistic.
Nepotistic.
Exactly. I think
in his federal character selection.
Exactly.
Anytime you talk here, you are always talking about federal character.
Yes.
Yesterday we were trying to deal with this issue, how surprising it's going to look like if he
appoint,
appoints
an
an
IGC.
IG of police from the south. You see, the Kuka, Bishop Kuka, comes from one of the most organized organizations called the Catholic Church. In fact, in the Guinness Book of Record, Catholic Church, world over, is seen as the best and the most organized organization the world has ever had. From their sermons, from the groups, and from everything. Therefore, for Bishop Kuka to come from a very organized setting like the Catholic Church and talking as a man who is also revered, not just that, and also domiciled in the north, which is the Sokoto side,
the Caliphate.
Caliphate.
Yeah.
He must have been there on ground.
Seen some things.
And what does a clergy do, a priest? You're not married. You don't know women. All you know is just to speak the truth so that you're married to Jesus. So whatever anybody is married to, whatever religion that you have, you just stand by the truth. So if everybody keeps quiet and not say that, it seems to him like the president is being nepotic.
Okay, now can I point
What's wrong about what he's saying?
That even
there are lots.
Sorry,
the president can wake up.
Mr. Daniel, did you remember that?
When I said,
wait, do you remember that the Northern Elders Forum,
Yes,
at a point came hard also on the president? These are Northerners. These are
Northerners.
These are his brothers.
let me come this way.
And so hair was not let loose at that time.
Exactly.
Now Bishop, they're singing.
No. You see, a bishop is of the faith.
Okay, so he shouldn't meddle.
No,
he shouldn't talk about.
You people should allow me to express whether I'm using metaphor or whatever. Let me land. You understand? He is not a politician, but
so he shouldn't.
If you are meddling into politics,
is he meddling? But he's leading people.
If you don't want me to sit here and express myself, I can just take a bow out. But I have to express. Let me express. We are not this is not discussion. When I land, you land. We now bring the point together. Where I am coming from, where you are coming from. Then we say we are discussing. We are making headway. He is wrong. When Jonathan was there, or when Obasanjo was there, there were insecurity problems, like the Boko Haram.
And he didn't speak.
Hold on. He spoke. But at the level at which he is placing President Muhammad Buhari in a bad light, I am not a spokesperson of Buhari, but I am trying to say that we should at least look at the performance of this man.
All right.
And put them side by side to the previous one. Okay. So you can't just come out as a religious person where thousands, millions of people listen to you and create anarchy. Your statement could even be anarchic here. So you have to kind of meddle down, calm down while putting forth suggestions. Like here in the media, we criticize Buhari, but we at the same time set agenda for him.
Okay.
Now, are you setting agenda, or you are
praying for him too.
You are bluntly telling the person that, look, you are failed, you are nepotistic. It's an insult to me. That is the way a leader of that capacity will even be a nation builder. When they were dancing with Jonathan and Jonathan was giving them money at the level of Khan and everything, there was no case of...
That is an allegation.
Yeah, it's a proven allegation.
All right,
it's a proven allegation that I can even prove to you. You understand? I'm not saying it here. So we should forget about this religious affiliation talk. Let's maintain federal government and ensure that the government is going on.
Let's move forward. Thank you very much. Now we have... The next paper for us to review is the Business Day. The Business Day newspaper has on a board on the bold topic there, Nigerian airlines buy planes in anticipation of rebound despite low passenger traffic. You have to get to the Business Day newspaper to get details of what they are talking about from the aviation sector. And also, beside that, we have why FG Siemens revolutionary power deal is in limbo. What is the details? What are the details of the power deals, and what actually are they talking about when they say limbo? So you get to the Business Day newspaper to find the details of these stories. And also, you have below that, and besides the picture story, service-bound tariff delivers a pile of money in Nigeria's troubled power sector. Still talking about the power sector, and you have details of that on the inside of the Business Day newspaper. I don't know if you have anything to talk about the airlines. Nigerians buying planes in anticipation of a rebound despite passenger traffic. Now we're talking about COVID-19. We're talking about putting some checks about traveling because of this, especially this second resurgence of COVID-19. There are a lot of travel restrictions, not exactly like you cannot fly to this place or that, but maintaining the COVID-19 and all of that. Rules. And then they are buying more planes. Is it like you're anticipating that the COVID-19 is going away?
No. The reason is that the spacing of passenger sitting arrangement is going to have less passengers, and it will call for more planes. Yeah, because the fleet is not enough to cater for, the demand of the passengers. Now, if a craft was taking, like, say, 600, and now to maintain social distance means that you're going to jump maybe 2 seats and maybe front and back and then side, then like that. So fewer passengers, paying more money, and then...
Because the plane has to carry less.
It has to carry less. And which is why the businessmen have seen that there is a business...
but despite that, there's going to be a drop in their revenue. But they are buying more planes.
No. There's not going to be... Look, a factory that manufactures a car and a factory that manufactures sweets, don't forget, the sweet sells every day. Look at the statistics of the number of children who want to take lick sweet every day. And look at the turnover. How many people buy cars? You may look at the car expensive, but not children buy cars. So if you look at that, you discover that those sweet factories make more money than the factories. It's a turnover.
And again, to add to that, the first paper was talking about 21 died on the Ibadan road or something like that, and I wanted to inject my pains. Especially as regard road accident.
Safety of the road.
Safety, the road is completely unsafe, and so you see more people going for the air. And apart from international flight, local movement, but where you could even get the worst is that when you land in your state airport and a vehicle have to convey you through the road again to your village. It is pathetic. It is a situation I could call a pragmatic situation in the Nigerian system of road networks. See, this present administration has actually borrowed a lot of money to construct and rehabilitate road networks. Let me tell you, if our roads are interconnected and neat, well rehabilitated and tarred, a lot of people will not even bother to fly plane. You understand? Apart from international courses to fly plane or beating time to meet up in business and so on, executive meetings. But the percentage of the persons that fly plane compared to those who use the normal road, the people using the normal road are more.
That's true.
Let me say 70 to 30 or 80 to 20%.
Very correct.
So if we must invest and make our economy work, we should go back to road rehabilitation, what do you call it, train roads, railway rehabilitations, and so on. Because there is no road, virtually no road, even before now, go to your state and see what I'm talking about. Even the hinterland, you will see dead trap, as if to say budget are not being invested, put into this road yearly.
And
why should people who are capable of buying SUVs, buying bulletproof cars, to come and drive them on where, on which road?
But
the same car.
If you look at our roads, you find out that most state roads, I think it's Trunk B roads, are more taken care of than the Trunk A. When you talk about
the federal road,
these are the more
yes, that
situations.
dichotomy has to be eliminated. There should be an eminent law to that regard to stop that dichotomy. Let there be nothing like federal road in a state.
Exactly.
If a road
passes through your state,
let it be the responsibility of the governor. Look at what Wike is doing in River, constructing roads here and there, and I praise him for that. Look at what Sanwo-Olu is doing in Lagos. Look at what do you call it? Even this man that is in Kano. They are constructing roads. Why should a governor sit or a system make it a question that this road is for federal government and this road is... That is why people are clamoring going on air. Right, exactly. And that is why the government is looking at the air business as more lucrative than the road business. Whereas the actual sense where you can get economic power, empowerment for the nation or for the treasury is by rehabilitating this road and railways. To be honest, we have to address that issue quickly. If not, more people will be dying.
Let me just add to what he's saying. It still goes back to the system of government that we're practicing. You know, you mentioned here that we're not begun to practice true federalism yet. You see, it's a system of government.
Everything is centralized.
Which territory belongs to who? And resources allocation is going to where, by who to where. I think so. Roads, if you want to dichotomize that the road shouldn't no more be state-owned or federal-owned, then we will appreciate this present administration so much for giving premium to road construction. Our prayer is that let this road construction be speedily. Completed. Otherwise, the budget that we're also talking about. Now, if you say federating units under a federal government, are the resources from those federating units, called the states, controlled by the states, to be able to do those basic
they have allocation.
That is where they have
allocation. Are they giving them this allocation actually? Correctly?
Yes, that is the budget.
That's the budget.
You have the budget. Even in the budget, apart from the recurrent budget,
infrastructure.
Those for infrastructure are being given bit by bit. No budget is actually released at once.
Yeah.
But it used to be. But now it is released as like pay as you go. As you enact, the government gives you. When we went to visit Fashola, the Minister of Works and Housing, last 2 months or 3 or so, about the deplorable state of our road in our state, he said there was no money. And that bureaucracy also is at play. Because some senators and House of Rep also want to corner the contract. You are a senator, you want to be a road contractor at the same time. And when this contract is even given to them, they don't effect it. And there will be no evaluation. No evaluation. Nobody is bringing them to accountability because of their position.
And which is why the roads
if I give a common man, Julius Berger, or what do you call it, Rock Bridge, whatever, a contract of road construction, if you don't do it to the standard test where it should last 30 years before any reconstruction or rehabilitation on it,
should go there.
You have to face the law. You have to face the law. Do you know what they are doing about Nigerian roads? Let me tell you, this thing can take a whole 2 hours topic if we want to elaborate on it. The contractors are they have how do I call it, accomplices of big politicians that use their portfolio to get in this contract for the contractors to rehabilitate road. And now, when you talk about surface laying, the durability of the materials they are using are mostly substandard, such that a road construction of maybe 11 kilometers within a pace of 6 months could take even 1 year. At that, before handing that road over to government and say this road is done, you see it.
You see it peeling already.
Already peeling. peeling off because the millimeter or the thickness of the standard of material is not there, and nobody is evaluating it.
Okay, so this is just a wake-up call to go.
It's a wake-up call to go.
It's a terrible situation. That's why people are dying, vehicles are getting spoiled, accidents are happening every day. The road safeties and the police will find themselves even at the bad spot. What are you saving on the bad road? Bad road portion.
The portion is for them to get.
They are arresting people at the portion. They are causing more traffic jams.
Slow down.
You understand? They can't even try to remove.
Because
yes.
So
it's a disgusting. It's an
advantage
for them to extort.
Someone said he's taking the place of toll gates.
Into the pocket of the toll gate. The toll gate in the pocket.
The junction, their checkpoint at the deplorable state, the bad spot is a toll gate for them now.
Oh, so that they can actually
they make money. Tax people extract money. Policemen are doing it.
So
road safety, we see them every day. We have videos. We have evidence of those things.
If the federal government has to end the toll gate contribution, then they should do the road. Thank you very much.
And you know the worst thing is the common men that they are extorting. If you carry SUV, I have been in SUV passing. They don't stop. You go in convoy, they give you way. But when they see the common man, they stop you at that spot and make sure they deal with you mercilessly.
All right.
So
if we continue this talk,
no.
We'll take the whole
the thing is annoying.
All right, let's move to the next newspaper we'll have. It is still press talk in case you're just joining us. And we're looking at some topical issues that made headlines in dailies. Let's go to the Daily Sun, and it's printing a bold headline there. Sanu Nasu threatened to shut down Asu Rock.
I like this.
The rider ground universities with protests. Okay, so you want to get the details, go to the Daily Sun newspaper to find out what they are talking about. And they have beside the masthead there, Amotekun, stay off Southwest.
And this is another issue.
OPC wants
this is another issue.
After Kuka.
After Kuka,
stay off.
You see, the Department of the State Security Services.
I think you are going ahead.
No. We don't look. These are headlines. We have to deal with those issues.
No, we'll come back.
We can't just afford to allow these people to crumble the country.
No, we'll come back to it. That story has the rider there. It says outcry over security outfit diversionary. So you can get the details of that on page 8. And I hope you're not going to be as excited as Daniel. It's already about here. Now, below the picture story, you have Southeast floats security outfit. Okay, you have an Amotekun saying stay up, and then Southeast is planning. So with the rider there, it says to unveil name later. Training of personnel commences. So the details you can get on page 28 of the Daily Sun. And besides, beside the picture story there, you have couple, 13 others killed, 14 injured in Ogun Niger auto crashes. The details are
another auto crash.
COVID-19, Lagos reviews working hours of civil servants. Get the details on page 3. Soldier to die by firing squad for killing lieutenant. Okay. Get the details on page 5. FG spent 118.37 billion in 2020. That's coming from a minister. Which minister is talking about this? Go to page 2. And also it continues on page 28 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Okay, now, Daniel, you have to.
You see, the Amotekun issue and the warning. They said,
stay off Southwest.
Told Metiala. Yes.
Metiala.
Of course, I will first of all take it from the excesses of the Mieti Allah, which it has come to national reckoning, and not on the positive side, a negative reckoning. Because many a times we heard Mieti Allah, Katakure, talking tough, threatening, taking responsibility for certain actions, going into intervene to Boko Haram issues, banditry issues.
And it appears it's acceptable.
Yes, it appears being acceptable somehow in the northern areas and middle belt. But I want to tell both Mieti Allah, Amotekun, Egbeso, Biafra, OPC, IPOB, and MASOB, anyone that they still want to institute that. Even if we are practicing true federalism where you control your jurisdiction, the entity called Nigeria is a sovereign state, and we have national guards, right from the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Police, Nigerian Navy, and so on. And you cannot outstep under any constitutional framework the directive of this National Guard. So you don't begin to talk tough or incite problems. As a matter of fact, it is because the current administration, the president has not really dealt with some statement from Mieti Allah. That is why other people are coming up. If you deal decisively with one arm, one association that is talking tough, no matter how powerful they are,
the other people will now take
the other people will take it as a deterrent, and then they will not mess up or incite crisis. Look at what is happening in U.S. now. Common words.
Yeah, from the president.
Words inciting problems already. We cannot afford another second civil war. In case we don't know, sometimes some of us have experienced even what is crisis, not to talk of war. And go to the northeast and some part of the northwest to see what is war. Even though it's like guerrilla war. So if you want to talk tough and is that because you are carrying on car-made, or the state government have empowered you to be a security guard, and you think that that is the level of war, you have not seen war. When you see war, you will pray to die.
Okay, now,
and we have to avoid all this nonsense.
Is the OPC now a part of Mieti?
Amotekun. Yes.
Are they incorporated?
OPC is Odua People's Congress. It's a pan-Yoruba socio-cultural security group. You understand? Just like you have Afenifere and the rest, which is the umbrella body of the Yoruba people. Now,
are they all in all Yoruba states?
Yes, they are only in the southwest.
So why the need of having an Amotekun when there was an OPC?
The need of Amotekun now is a kind of these are our vigilante. Just like you have what is Ohaneze Ndigbo. You have Ohaneze Ndigbo in the east, and then you have the, what do you call those ones? The ones that came Bakassi
boys
at one time. Yeah. Then you have the IPOB now, though clamoring, agitating for water. So all this security brouhaha anomalies could cause problem for us if we don't take time.
Organizations are defined.
Yeah.
If you have the OPC, it's just an umbrella, rallying organization
of Odua people,
for the Yoruba nation,
because the Odua kingdom is
the kingdom of the Yoruba,
extended down to even Ghana, the other coastal regions of the western coast.
Okay, so it's not as if it's a security outfit.
No, then they.
But that's the point.
They are traditionally built formidably to defend the Yoruba nation,
whether academically. In all ramifications. Then when you now single it out to security, they now say, okay, Amatekun, you take care of that. I think I want to comment a bit on this Sanu Nasu.
Exactly.
Yes, because it's a very thick headline on the Daily Sun to shut down Aso Rock. Threatening to shut. The problem of security, that is, the challenges of security and issues related therewith, stems out from the word Boko Haram. And if you understand the meaning of Boko Haram, it's an Arabic term that means that book is not good. So if book is not good, and an administration that is also, bedeviled with the Asu, Sanu, Nasu strike overwhelmingly for a very long period of time, shows clearly that there is a problem with going to school. So if book is not good and these people are causing problem because there's too much of book that is bringing problem, then it will mean the universities will all shut down, and the people who, education is very important. education is very important in developing a nation. So if the education is very important in developing a nation, and the people are not in school, they are even contemplating when they're going to resume on the 18th. Now, NASU strike, they don't know when they're going to. So if they want to storm Aso Rock,
that's in a form of protest.
To protest, to make sure that if people are not mad, wake up now, because we are going to make sure that we're going to shut down. And even, I mean, it's where my concern is very seriously.
All right, you know, like non-academic staff union of universities, that's the NASU, and the senior staff association of Nigerian universities, that's the SANU. Quite different from ASU. You know, ASU was on strike for close to 10 months, and they called off. And then you find out that ASU, NASU, SANU, they are all needed for the university system to function. So if one arm is down, it
others
affects the others. And then NASU, SANU, they threaten, they have a lot of issues, they have a lot of problems with the government that they are talking about on some agreements that they've not met and all of that. And they're having there's a 40 billion sharing formula that is not okay with them.
And they're moving them
out of as if, they said it appears as if the teaching staff, that's the ASU, is being given more priority over them and all of that. And they issued that they're going to have 3 days warning strike. That's from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So yesterday they ordered all their branches to go on strike and protest, just for 3 days, kind of warning. So now, but the issue of going to shut down Aso Rock, that means they are taking their agitation to the seat of the presidency to say, look, you have to listen to us right now. And then what it means is that there is not going to be any resumption, because if you don't take care of these problems of these people, how will the university system run?
Okay, the government had wanted, at one time, introduced a payment system.
Yes, this IPPIS.
Yes.
And they rejected it.
A payment system that is well scripted, digitalized for any sane and incorruptible personality at the level of a lecturer to follow through. They rejected it.
They have their reasons.
I know they have their reasons.
Visiting lecturers in more than 30 universities, teaching the same course,
even if they have their
and getting 300,000 here, 300,000 here, 300,000. This is what makes them.
You understand? They want to be making money here and there. There are several means which all these professors, doctors, HODs on campuses make their money.
So government is right by
even to the extent of rigging election for lower cadre politicians who are not up to them. They make money. They are the returning officers. So because they know people, but they don't know governance. They don't know how to build a nation.
But some of them are professors of politics.
They should go into politics.
Who are professors.
I could only speak for the non-academic staff. The non-academic staff on campuses sometimes are being, even their benefits are usurped by varsity VCs and polytechnics rectors, to the extent that some of them will work several months without getting anything. So they can take their grievances to the presidency so that the presidency can see it to it. But the normal academic staff union, I have no pity for them, because we know the consequences and the things they do to even students studying in universities. We know how they place scrutinize
they should punish them small.
They should face it. Do you know that
the issue is this? If when elephants fight, the grasses suffer. Now, if ASU, NASU, and all of that are pulling their weight, what about the students that need to get an education? What about this education
that's where the problem is.
So government needs to come to a table like we are right now.
They have left the minister of education out of this. They are going to out of it. It means that the whole system don't respect academics.
They don't. They don't. So I think the government have a way of bringing them together like it has been doing. But you see, I would really advise that their allowances or whatever they are agitating for should be looked into at both advantageous sides, not at the detriment of the government and not at the detriment of the unions.
No, but if you look at it critically, it's a win-win situation, because if government pays them well, they pay their tax.
No, but
and it comes back to the government.
Yes, that is number one. But the issue of corruption in our tertiary institutions.
Yeah.
That is what the IPPIS
is trying
stands
to
quell, and they must allow it transparently to get to work.
All right, that's that about the. And the last paper we are going to look at now, we are going to look at This Day newspaper. This Day newspaper has on its front page, arrest suspected plotters of religious violence.
Exactly.
ACF Afenifere Khan tells DSS. Arrest suspectors of plotters of violence. You saw some groups there, Afenifere, ACF, telling government to be fast about that. And he has a rider. Secret police allege plot to incite crisis in Kano, Rivers, Lagos, others. And then also Pandev cautions against unnecessary alarm. That's a Pan Association of Niger Delta, whatever forum. Elders, Niger Delta Elders Forum. That's Pandev there. And also below that, and besides the picture story, we have federal government to review January 18th school resumption date. Holds talks with governors hold talks with governors. You get the details of that on This Day newspaper. I think that's about the interesting stories. There are so many, both inside the papers and at the back page, but we're only looking at the front page. So do get a copy of This Day newspaper to find out what they are talking about. But then let's look at this. Arrest suspected plotters of religious violence. ACF, that's Arewa Consultative Forum. Afenifere, that's the Pan Yoruba. And Khan, Christian Association of Nigeria.
Of course.
They are telling the DSS, that's the Department of State Service, that's the secret police. And then you have a rider there saying the secret police revealing plots to incite crisis in Kano. Now, is it okay?
Rivers, Lagos, and others.
Is it enough to just tell us they are trying to, as secret police, they have the information? Why don't you just tell us, these people are planning to do this and we've caught
It's
them.
alarm. It's called a precautionary alarm. In criminology, it's done. Even in US, you saw FBI telling the people that 20th, handing over the inauguration of Biden, there will be consequences. It's FBI telling the nation. You understand? So when they give you that alert, you know that they are aware. Okay, we are staging a protest against our own governor for our own severance. Before we know the DSS, they got the information. They called me and said, "Are you the leader of that?" I said, "Yes, because we have done everything and the man is not paying us. So we want to take action." You understand? We want to go very civil. And when I was afraid the first instance that how did they get to know? You understand? That they revealed how they got to know and say, okay, they are going to advise the governor to pay us. That is what we are waiting on now.
You see?
So it's a precautionary statement.
I like that. I like that statement you said is precautionary in criminology. Of course, in media, what do they call it?
Is it investigative journalism?
No, it's headlines.
Okay, you give us.
Yeah, you give us headlines. Now, the headlines are going to reveal that even the media is aware, and they are the ones propagating it, so that every other person should be cautious. Now, it's an alarm, is what he said. I like that part. I'm just trying to appreciate that. But you know, if there is anything in this country that is as volatile as anything else, is the spark that comes with the quagmire, the fracas of riot, chaos along religious lines.
Exactly.
If anybody tells you that, I'm from the north, I'm from the this, I'm from the south, I'm from...
Once a nation is divided along religion and ethnic lines,
but once
it will be very difficult to build.
Justice is difficult to build.
All right, now, my own take.
And the worst of it is that Nigerians who are this very religious, they are not godly.
Fine.
If we are all godly, the people in the mosque, they are the ones at the helm of affairs in governance. The people in the church, they are the ones in the head of affairs in governance, in politics. You see corruption still rocking highly endemic in the country.
No,
Yet,
Yes.
when it comes to crisis, they instigate the common masses. But the masses have also failed to know that there is no religion, there is no tribalism, there is no ethnicity between these political elites.
I'm trying to.
What we know.
I am trying. I understand you very well.
No, let me come. What the people, the masses must know,
Yes.
including the ones that are being instigated to go and fight, they must know this today, that we only have two tribes. We only have two religions. We only have two ethnicity. You understand? And that is the elite and the masses. Have you ever seen where the elite sit down to discuss the affairs of this country with and they're having a disgruntled element among them? When they sit down, there is nothing like PDP, there is nothing like APC. When they sit down, there's nothing like you are a Muslim, there's nothing like you are a Christian.
Okay.
Before you know, they forge ahead on how to siphon money, how to steal, how to do things together.
Mr. Charles, I want to express my worry. Listen to that headline. Arrest suspected plotters of religious violence.
Yes, they
Which
call.
means there's a religious violence, you know,
There are suspects
brewing
already.
up.
Which is what
Brewing up.
DSS said
No,
there.
no, it is not DSS now that is telling the public.
No,
It is
the
these
rider.
groups.
The rider
These groups
there.
are telling
Yes,
DSS.
yeah.
So
they-
look at the rider there.
the
They
rider
say,
says-
secret police allege plot to incite crisis
In Kano, Rivers, Lagos, and others.
So that's what is giving the basis for the call by the ACF and all of that, which
Yes.
is where I'm going to.
Yes.
Now, coming to say there is a plot, and that means there are plotters. And then these people are asking them, arrest these plotters.
Arrest these plotters. That's what my worry is. That's exactly what we're
because
talking
before
about.
you know it, we'll be having crashes. We'll be having crashes.
But he has also said that it is an alarm, which is
So that
still
means those
okay.
people can still go back and retreat and replan
And replan,
strategize.
because
what
it has been alarmed.
If you go,
Why don't you
in
just
there,
go ahead straight away and
pick them
catch
up.
them up? Then I'm wondering how groups like this will be telling DSS who should have known where these plotters
that is
and
their-
then go straight to catch them.
that is
I don't understand.
This
Yeah.
thing, let me tell you, this thing shows that the groups, they have identified those plotters.
And
Then
the ones-
secondly, the DSS are already aware of them.
So why
now,
is what's hoping-
now
what's
you,
holding them?
you see, there is something we call in war, victims of circumstances. As you are now, if not the media revealed it, you might not be aware. And suddenly something happens and your life is taken. You become a victim of
I expected the writer
Now-
there to say, and the secret police have gone
Arrested.
ahead to arrest
They will
them.
make arrests.
The plotters.
They will make arrests, but there are high-profile personalities involved in such a case.
Which is why they will never come to light.
Which is why they threaten this threat now is to warn
The
them.
one,
To beware.
You know, there are some
Yes.
people that are untouchable.
Yes.
That believe they are God and they have the wherewithal.
Very correct.
So the secret police, the DSS, and these groups are warning them indirectly,
Indirectly
so
here.
that they would desist
From
taking out that plot.
so in a way, it's a precautionary.
Precautionary, yes, you have.
It is very, very better than reactionary.
Did you study criminology? This one.
No,
All right, that's the much we have on the front pages of the newspaper. We'll take a break now, and when we'll come back, we'll look at some other topical issues making the rounds in the polity today. Join us again. Welcome back. This is still Press Talk on television, Nigerian. Now, we've just finished talking about some major issues that made the headline front pages of newspapers. Now we have to look at some other issues that are in the polity. The Director of Voter Education and Publicity at the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, that's Nick Dazang, on Tuesday said the Commission plans to introduce new technologies ahead of the 2023 general elections in the country. Now, reeling out some of the technological introductions by the electoral body in the past years, Dazang said INEC began the process for electronic voting in 2004 when it introduced optic map registration forms, and it also introduced the use of direct data capture machines and expanded the use of machines for the 2011 elections. He said INEC would revisit the use of card readers and introduce other technologies that would work seamlessly with electronic voting in future elections in Nigeria. Now, INEC making plans, future elections. Okay, we've seen mapping, we've seen card readers and all of that. What next should we be expecting from INEC? Because they weren't actually specific. You said some other technological innovations. So what do you see in the offing?
Nigeria is due. A nation of over 220 is supposed to be digitalized in terms of the masses taking part in their civic responsibilities. It is we have been overdue since the year 2000, when we heard about the Y2K compliance and so on. All of us were on system trying to update things for the next 1,000 years, for the next century. The country, if you look at the electoral level of malpractices and the hacking ability of the system, you discover that there is no hope for the masses to speak in electoral victories. If the masses cannot decide electoral victory, it is not democracy. It is a kind of autocracy.
Yes.
You understand? Where what to do. So if the president and the INEC in this administration had to nail the issue of INEC and digital voting system, honestly, we would have been 50% done with electoral problems.
So that means they are trying to kind of give credibility to the electoral system.
The issue like rigging, you see Trump crying foul in US now. Did you see anybody answer him? Because the system is digitalized. The number of persons in the INEC registry, in the polling unit, you know it. The number of polling units in a ward, you know it. The number of wards in a local government, you know it. The number of local